See the moonlights on the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Talawa TV is in the town. Whoa, I'm getting ready. Got a corner on the telephone. Yeah, this is the Ocean of the Messenger, and you're watching Talawa TV with the host and best. Davis, take it away.
Guys, welcome back to my channel, my Talowers. How are you doing? Good evening to you all. Good morning. It might be depending on where you are in the world. Might be an early start for you. Definitely, if you're based in the UK, probably just getting up for work. So I hope you have a splendid. What would it be? A splendid Tuesday. Hope you have a splendid Tuesday when it eventually arrives. If you're in Jamaica like myself, or maybe based in the States like my special guest, Mr. Chelsea himself, it is still Monday evening for us. So I hope that your day has gone well. If not, hopefully the Reggae Boys can finally kickstart your week, and hopefully you will have a blessed week. Mr. Chelsea, Dre Any Weather, as most of you know him. Before I get started, guys, let me know in the comment section how I'm sounding in terms of audio. And if I need to do something different, then of course I will go ahead and try my best to accommodate you all. So, Mr. Chelsea, Dre Any Weather, how are you?
I'm doing great, So this week, international break. So I'm taking a break from the club football, representing Reggae Boys, land of my birth, I'm glad to be here again.
I probably shouldn't touch on the Blues at Stamford Bridge because they are flying high at the moment. So I probably should sway away from them, being that they are London rivals for the team that I support. So I'm just going to focus on my brand, stay completely on brand. Dre is obviously out in his colors and his black, green, and gold. So obviously that means, judging by the title, we're going to be previewing tomorrow's game against the USA, our fierce rivals. In under 24 hours time, we'll definitely know where we stand against the United States. How are you feeling heading into the game?
There is cause for concern, a lot of concern, given that our recent record versus the United States, it's not that impressive to say the least. And we saw where they're coming off a very impressive win versus Mexico in the recent World Cup qualifying round. So given that, and we know the Reggae Boys' back is against the wall, Coach Whitmore, we need to get the best out of him. And this is the time that he needs to step up and show his skills and his tactical approach and get the result that's needed to keep his job, which we'll touch on that further on.
Keep his job. I'm not so sure if his job is on the line. I'm not going to hold my breath. That's not to say that I want the man to lose his job. Absolutely not. So don't shoot me for saying that, but I do not believe that his job is on the line. But I could be wrong. Who knows? Like Dre Any Weather said, we will touch on that as the show goes on. How are you feeling about that El Salvador game? Have you finally gotten over the results, or are you a little bit still like myself, just completely lost for words and struggling to summarize it all?
This is one that's gonna haunt me and haunt Reggae Boys fans for a long time, knowing that we were on the brink of 3 points, 9 minutes to go in regulation time, and we weren't able to hold on to that 1-0 lead, which was given to us by a brilliant strike by Mikel Antonio, the West Ham man himself, another Londoner. Which they're also ahead of you guys. So if London's not blue, then but it's not the night for it.
Dre, I thought you was one of the good ones. That's the reason why I reached out to you. I never thought it would be like this. I expect better from you, you know. I expect the slander and the dig from the Man United fans, not the Chelsea fans, but I'll take it because you're flying high at the moment.
We're top of the league. But going back to that El Salvador, yeah, I believe it was a combination of coaching, mental concentration breakdown that led to that goal. And it was late in the game, winded players, tired legs, 90th minute, concentration. You need to play to the final whistle. Not all players are built for that.
You actually took the words out of my mouth, and I think that is probably the perfect way to conclude the madness that unfolded throughout towards the latter stages of that game. Is that you forgot as professionals that, like you quite rightly put it, you're supposed to play to the final whistle. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, we saw that in the opening qualifying game against Mexico, didn't we? So that kind of tells me that you've not learned your lesson as a collective, because these were similar players that were on the pitch for both the El Salvador game and the Mexico game.
True. And then that's where coaching comes into play. I believe so.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You're absolutely right about that. Let's look at this game against the United States. I can't speak for yourself, Dre, so you probably share your own opinion. But just like the Mexicans, this is one country that I absolutely hate to lose against. Whether it's in track and field or in football, I just can't take losing against the United States. But how are you feeling going into tomorrow's game? Surely, if they lose tomorrow, then is that an absolute nail in the coffin that we're not going to progress and qualify for the World Cup? Or is it just we still have a glimmer of hope?
Our mindset going into the game as a team going out there on our home court, not court, but home field, using that basketball term again. I'm a big Lakers fan, and they have a game tonight in about 30 minutes or so, playing against Chicago. But going into the game, being that we're playing at home, I believe that we need to be aggressive, put the U.S. on their back foot, have them backpedaling, come out from the opening whistle, not sit back and soak up pressure, and hopefully we hit them on the counter attack, playing that long ball over the top. It's not going to work in this game, and hopefully, really hope that's not the plan going into this game. But previous games so far this year, our results have been 4-1 loss to the US in a friendly, a 1-0 loss to them in the Gold Cup qualifying, and in the World Cup campaign in the United States, we lost 2-0. So if you're looking back at the record, we got to put that aside, put that back of our mind, and go into the game as a must-win game in order for us to get a good result, positive result tomorrow.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think adding with that as well, just to kind of show because obviously you brought up the history there between both sides. The obviously the USA have had the better upper hand against us, but we also did manage to sneak a cheeky 1-0 win against the United States some years ago. Obviously that was in a friendly, with Shamar Nicholson scoring that delightful goal. So the reason why I brought that up is because during that game, I think we actually run rings around the United States. We were playing some decent looking football, and since then it seems to be that we've, in some sense, just gone completely downhill since winning that 1-0 over the United States. But the reason why I brought that up is obviously we have beaten them before, and it is possible. But obviously, when you look at our recent performances and our results, things might not go as we would hope for.
Yeah, that's true. We need to also look back at the 11 that USA used in the last game versus Mexico and do some video analysis. Hopefully, the coaching staff has done their homework. We know they get a lot of bashing, but we heard that they have all the tools that's necessary to be prepared for the opponent. So let's hopefully they have been doing the homework and they come out looking a different unit and a more focused and determined unit, and aggressive, playing aggressive, not physically aggressive, but attacking mindset, like controlling. They have the players capable of, but we need to see a different mindset and a different strategy going into this game tomorrow.
I think you touched on something quite key there, where you mentioned, like the video analysis. That kind of tells us that we do have the right tools, both on and off the pitch. Obviously, on the pitch, we can see the caliber of players that are available to us. But I think one of our biggest problems so far on the field and also off the field is that we're struggling to utilize our best assets. Like, what is the purpose of having a video analysis if you're not going to put that to good use, or you're not just wasting money?
They have to be careful because they ask for all these financially straining. I never wanted to go there, but it's a thin line that they're walking right now as far as the coaching staff and Coach Whitmore is concerned. He asks for all these assets, and we are not seeing the payoff really in the results at the end of games. And as far as the World Cup campaign has been going so far, it's not looking good. And they asked for all this, they got it. So the JFF did their part as far as that was concerned. Player personnel, I can't really blame the JFF if Whitmore asks for the players or the JFF give the offer for the players to Coach Whitmore and he denied those players. That's a different story. But the players that we have in camp right now, I believe it's the strongest and toughest squad we have available in a long time. Maybe some may say since '98. It's been the strongest and most talented bunch of players been called and grouped together in the national team for a long time. And we still have players that could have been included that would have even made the squad even much stronger than it is.
It's interesting that you picked up on that, because I think we spoke about this on Coach's Desk some nights ago, where literally, yes, it would have been, I believe, Saturday night, right? Straight after the El Salvador game, where we were saying that as it stands, you could arguably say that your plan C is somewhat better than your plan A. And obviously, that's what you've touched on when you talk about other players that's available to us. I think the last time we spoke, discussed that midfield area and the need to bolster that midfield
creativity. Have we progressed since then, since that last conversation, which would have been for the October qualifying window, as we just stood still?
I mean, we added a player, but we also lost a player for that. And then the player that we added, we didn't even start the player. So the formation going into the El Salvador game was very puzzling to me. I believe that we played the wrong strategy versus the El Salvador team. We had no creativity, no ball going forward. We left a player with the vision and the passing ability, like a Ravel Morrison. We brought him into the squad. We left him on the bench for 60 plus minutes. That was a bad move by the coach. When things weren't going in favor of the team, tactical changes need to be made, and they did not. So it was just keep seeing the same boring lack of creative football or ball movement in the midfield. We would just keep losing the midfield. So we needed that player out there. We needed him a lot earlier than when he came on the field. But when he did come on the field, we did see that creativity. We did see the chances. He had another chance created when he played the ball into Kemar Roof. It was a beautiful no-look pass, like they do in the NBA also, one of those point guards where they look away and they pass the ball behind their back. It was one of those creative passes. Kamar could have done better with that pass. Maybe went for a shot on goal, but not the preferred foot. But if you're a striker, you should be able to convert with both feet. He went for the pass, and there was no shooting lane for the player that collected the pass. But the creativity of a Ravel Morrison, it was missed in that game, and hopefully we can see it tomorrow, right off the bat, right off the start. Not wait, and I hope he's not on the bench.
Don't hold your breath with that one, Dre. Since you've touched on Roof, I know you've noticed this on social media some hours ago that he seems to be on a plane. So the message or the impression that we're getting is that he's not going to be in the squad for tomorrow. Now, I know myself, you and I, we discussed the possibility maybe that's due to injury, or maybe that's due to agreement with the club. Maybe he's only allowed to play one game and then go back. Either way, would it not have been a sensible decision to have
players, one or two player of similar caliber to Kemar Roof that is close by within touching distance to say, okay, if he's not available for one game or two game, at least we can call upon XOXO. Like for
Yeah.
example, a Blade Target or a Jamal Lowe, players of that quality.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm still not sure what was the reason for Roof departure. I believe, I don't want to assume, but I haven't got any confirmation yet. I believe it was because of that injury that he picked up in the game versus El Salvador when he gave in. He was down and out, and obviously he needed to be substituted, and he gested for the substitution also when he was down. And then here comes the goal scorer, and the rest was history. With that said, Jamal Lowe and a Blair Turgot would have been not a far drop off as far as Lowe is concerned. Some may say Turgot is a further bit down, but Lowe could have stepped in and maybe could have even started versus El Salvador, or challenged for that starting left wing position, which we've seen him play for Jamaica successfully over the years and in the last round of matches too. But this is World Cup time. Not sure what the communication was with Lowe and his club from the last window, but he also played one game and returned. This window, he wasn't even called to the squad. So not sure what took place here and why.
Could be down to favoritism. Again, that's purely speculation. There's no concrete information regarding what's just been said. So take that with a pinch of salt if you must. And let's move on from that. How would you line up against the United States?
All right. You sure you want to go there this early? All right. So
I'm wary of time because I know you have your basketball game to tune into. So I'm watching the clock and trying to speed.
No, we can go a little bit further down, but if you want my potential lineup already. So if we're gonna go like this, then I can give you what I think Coach Tapa 11 would be.
Okay, let me brace myself for this one.
And it could be a 4-2-3-1 again. I see Coach putting Blake, Taxi at left back, Lowe and Moore in the middle of the defense. Right back, I see him still going with Fisher. And the reason why I said that is because Alvas, we know that Alvas is not fit. Is not at the fitness level to start versus the United States and that attacking side. Going up against a player the caliber of Captain America, potentially, because USA did get a fair warning from the gaffer himself about Pulisic, using him, when to use him, how and not to, and coming off an injury and all that. Now, not saying that it would be a far drop off whoever plays over on that side of the field going up against Fisher, because we saw what the El Salvadorians did up against him. They took advantage of his weakness and they camp out on that side of the field. They realized that he's a weakling. Now, with that said, that's what I think Tapa will be doing, because if you never had Javian Brown in the squad originally, USA is a tougher opponent than El Salvador. You're gonna bring in Javian and start him. You haven't started him in any of the World Cup qualifiers so far. You're gonna start him against your toughest opponent, the top of the table team. I believe that would be Tapa's thinking. However, then I believe that he would go with Grant and Speed in the middle of the park. We saw the partnership, what they have done for us in the recent round of games. He did find a way to stick Watson in there, but I believe Watson is injured from the last game. I don't see how he's going to come back from that. He shouldn't come back from that quick in order to start again against the United States. Top caliber team, maybe the best in the region. And I don't see Watson starting versus them. But you never know with the coach Tapper. Cam, I believe he's going to go with Ravel. Left wing, I believe Coach Tapper. Team. Guys in the comment section, J. Russ, steady. Fresh God, steady. Man them just steady. Pagan, steady. With due respect to the young lady, this is her show tonight. And there was check at the door. There's security check. There's no bottles allowed inside of the venue. Okay. No, with that said, on the left wing, I believe Coach Whitmore is going to start Junior Fleming. Being that the young man, Roof, had returned. And Fleming has a lot of experience playing in the USL, in the United States League. Right wing, of course, poster boy, Chippy, baller, Leon Bailey, our face in the EPL right now. And of course, the goal scorer from the last game, Mikel Antonio, up top at center forward. That's what I believe the coach is going to go with. Now, the only change that I would make in that sense, I would take the risk and I would start Javain Brown playing in the MLS, being starting consistent for a Vancouver Whitecaps team, playing real good. We've seen square or cross a lot of balls inside the box. The opportunities come for the Reggae boys with squares coming across from that right side. Guess who's there to meet it this time around? We have the top marksman himself, Mikel Antonio, inside the box this time around to be on the end of those passes. So I expect to see Javain starting based on performance at the club level, not performance for the national team, because we still haven't seen what he has to offer when he starts, or if he was to start. So I believe that's the 11 that I would pick, and I would make Javain the starter. And also at left wing, clear my throat for this one. Many people, not players, people may say that the goal that scored, brace yourself.
I know where this one's going.
This guy may have been blamed for the goal that was scored in the last game. But if you have a player who wants to prove wrong and is determined to show that, one, he is fit, unlike what they've been saying. Two, that he wants to make amends and be on the end of some of those crosses coming in from Leon Bailey or Javain Brown. And I believe had he got chances where Roof passed that ball inside the box, he would have found a way to fire off a shot on goal instead of dribbling. We saw him do it in the Guadeloupe game in the United States with my own two eyes. And he put a right foot shot in the corner of the back of the net, the opening goal versus Guadeloupe. Now, with that said, on the left wing, the only change I would make, I would bring in Corey Burke to start off the bat and press against the United States. I wouldn't play that sit back, hoping to hit on the counter attack versus the US. So that would be my starting 11. Andre Blake, Damian Lowe, Liam Moore, Javain Brown, Taxi Lawrence, Grant, Speedy, Leon Bailey, Antonio, and Ravel Morrison, and Corey Burke on the left wing. In a 4, 2, 3, 1.
That's an interesting prediction there, Dre. I think the only one that I
possibly don't agree, not that I don't agree with it, it's just I can't see it happening, is where you picked up on Javon Watson, who is, like you said, picked up an injury in that game. Javon Watson is literally like the Undertaker. I'm sure you must have watched WWE growing up. He is literally the Undertaker. If he's got a bit of life in him, you expect him to be in that starting 11, right? And also Javane Brown as well. I'm with you on the Javane Brown inclusion. But I don't actually see it happening. I'm not going to hold my breath, but I think he made perfect sense, in the sense that you said, you know, that he's doing so well in the MLS for his club week in, week out when given the opportunity. But I don't know, he just doesn't seem to be a player that is, you know, like every manager, every head coach have their preferred players, their favorite players. And you can see that with someone like Watson. Is that, does he get called up because he's a favorite of Tapper's, or whether it's because Tapper believe he can trust in him? I'm not really getting that same impression with Javane Brown. And that's obviously not down to the player's ability. I don't think anyone can doubt him ability-wise, but I don't see Javane Brown starting. I would love to see him start, but it's not something that I'm going to hold my breath on. And also, I would be keen to see Shamar Nicholson as well. That's the big one for me, whether or not he's going to start Shamar Nicholson, because he does seem to have a lot of faith in Nicholson. Obviously, there's reasons for that. When you look back at his World Cup qualifying performances so far, 2 goals, 1 assist, but you cannot overlook what Mikel Antonio did in his last game against El Salvador. Super sub, comes on, chips the keeper, and sends the fan base just completely out of control. Unfortunately, we conceded throughout the latter stage. But yeah, that's the tough prediction that I'm looking at tomorrow, whether or not he's starting Shamar Nicholson, which I'm guessing is expected, or whether he's just going to say I'm going all out and go with Mikel Antonio.
Yeah, but there's a way that Tapper Whitmore could start both of them. In that 4-4-2, which would eliminate Ravel at CAM if he goes for that 4-4-2. And I really want to see the inclusion of Ravel Morrison passing vision going forward, not deep line midfield next to Grant, which we could also see that. But we saw the partnership where Speedy and Grant develop, and we want to see that continue. And I believe that's a very strong partnership. I like if Grant go forward, Speedy has the speed and the defensive capabilities to drop back and cover for him. If Speedy was to go forward on a link-up play, then we saw where Grant would drop back and make up for whatever deficiencies may be left behind there, where Speedy left open in that gap. But with a Ravel, we may see a lack of passes going forward because we know what he's capable of. We know he can break down a defense. We've seen him do it week in, week out at Derby. Just unfortunate he doesn't have the caliber players at Derby as he has in the national team right now. Don't have a Leon Bailey, don't have a Mikel Antonio, don't have a Bobby Reed, because I believe Bobby Reed would be the second best player at Derby had he been at Derby with Ravel Morrison. But you know, let's see what Tapper does tomorrow. But that's my 11 that I would go with. And also, I gave you what I believe Tapper would go to.
You also touched on, you're giving me a lot of gems tonight. You touched on Bobby Reed. I could not believe what I saw against El Salvador. Correct me if I'm mistaken here, but I could have swear I saw at least, I don't even want to go there. But I know, you know, 2, you saw 2. I saw 3. So if you're saying 2, we're gonna leave it at 2. I was in complete disbelief. I was like, am I seeing doubles here? What's going on? That is by far his worst game that I've ever seen of Bobby Reed. Not just in the Jamaica colors, but just period. That's just the worst game I've ever seen of him. So hopefully we don't ever get a repeat of that, because that was just a below par expectation, par performance from Bobby Reed. With that being said, are you expecting to see Bobby Reed start, or do you think that you're going to see him on the bench sitting this one out?
You know, it depends because last time he played against the United States, I believe, did he play in the 2-0 game? I'm not sure,
Let me look back at that. That's a very good question. Let's see.
last I remember when he played that versus the United States in the Gold Cup, he scored a splendid strike, the goal of the tournament. For those who remember, clearance came out and he just hit it one time from the top of the key or the top of the 18-yard box.
Yeah, he did actually start. Bobby Reed, yeah, he did start in that game, as did Tariq McGee. I'm pretty sure we were singing high praises to McGee on our last preview, which would have been for the
Costa
October
Rica.
window, right?
It was the Costa Rica game. Coming back, we reviewed the Costa Rica game, I think, and Tyreek
Yeah.
class of a performance, but don't know what happened since that. But he did had a master class of a performance in the middle of the park for us, especially in that second half, because the first half he was a bit tentative and hesitant. But in the first half, he instilled his skills, put his print on that game, and did improve his performance and led to a goal with a beautiful turn and a pass in the middle of the park there. Something that we hopefully will see from Ravel tomorrow. Pretty sure we'll see it, but let's hopefully the chances that we create will end up in the back of the net tomorrow.
So you're saying that your player, I'm assuming in terms of that midfield creativity, who is capable of grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck for you, that's Morrison, right?
If he plays in the right position, Tapa Whitmore, please don't play him at CDM.
Again, I am not going to hold my breath. I think one of the positives that I'm looking forward to tomorrow actually doesn't have nothing to do with the game. I think I'm going to be seeing my good friend Mr. Eddie Guna at the game. A massive shout out to the guys at Sports Down the Middle. Someone sent me a DM earlier on today asking if I'm going to be at the game. I'm assuming that it's Eddie, because I know that he takes control of their social media. Nevertheless, I did respond to someone and I said I'm looking forward to meeting them. They're lovely guys, so do check out Sports Down the Middle on all social media platform. Also, the guys at Coach's Desk as well. I'm looking forward to meeting Coach's Desk himself. Those are the only two people that I'm sure will definitely be at the game tomorrow. So it's Coach's Desk and Sports Down the Middle. Tomorrow as well, I won't be doing a live stream because I'll be at the office, but I will be doing a halftime match analysis over on Ryan LFC. So do tune in to Ryan LFC's channel tomorrow for the live watch along, and also on Coach's Desk as well. And also check out Sports Down the Middle, so you're spoiled for choices tomorrow. But like I said, I will be over on Ryan LFC for the halftime talk. So that is my positivity for tomorrow. Nothing to do with the game itself. I'm just finally excited to link up with the fellow YouTube content creators, or Ryan like to call them, our colleagues. And it's a bit of a shame that you're not going to be there live in the flesh.
No, I'm still working on that. When I go there, I'm coming all the way from the States, so I'm gonna want to experience the full Jamaica no curfew. Can't tell me about the curfew. So
when was the last time you was home, Dre?
Let's not touch that topic. As we were saying, we were talking about the Reggae Boyz game tomorrow, and you having some fun in the stands.
Yes, I am having. I'm having a bit of a fun. But yeah, hopefully it stays that way. It's a little bit steady, but I think you and I both know that Jamaica is an expensive holiday, so you kind of have to make sure you get the balance right when you're able to make a move.
Yeah, so I heard. Like I said,
Eddie Guna, big up yourself, Eddie. Excellent work from yourself and the guys over at Sports Down the Middle. And also, how can I forget these guys? Believe Baller as well. Check those guys out. I can almost guarantee that if we score tomorrow and win, nevertheless score or win, you can check out Believe Baller for bite size bite-sized clips of the goals as they go in. So do keep an eye on Believe Baller as well. Let's go through the chat, the comments and see what everybody else is saying. I don't know, Dre, you said something because people are laughing down in the comments. So I might have to re-watch this and see what I missed out on.
Dre no one stop.
We might need a remix of yourself and Hacker. But
No one, I can hear my thing.
Hacker himself. Like I said, yeah. Go on, Dre.
Yeah, big up Eddie Guna, yeah man. I am sure, Mannings man, the interview boss, big up yourself to up and coming out and about. Big up Formula Sports, can't left you out. He's local to Crystal, down at your
Is he
side.
gonna be there tomorrow? Because I haven't seen I was watching one of his live watch-alongs the other day, but I'm not sure if he's gonna be there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he's gonna be there neither. Can link him on IG and then I'll let you know more on that. But I am sure will be there. And he is sure that he will be. Yeah.
Okay, I can get to meet Mannings as well. I've been out the loop, especially on my Instagram page.
Hey,
obviously.
Be ready for an interview. That's an interview boss.
So there's going to be loads of Jamaican content creators, guys, at the office tomorrow. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them all. I'm Eddie Guna. I disagree. I think that you can put yourself in the brackets of being a journalist/content creator. You're definitely not far off, Eddie, doing some outstanding work over on your channel. Someone is saying we share the same name. Paul, you've got a great surname. Paul is saying Tapa. I'm surprised by this one. He's saying Tapa in 2-1. So I don't know, Paul. You might know something that we don't. You're speaking very confident there, and I'm not going to knock your confidence. Can you see that happening, Dre? Jamaica 2-1.
No, Paul drinking the Kool-Aid, man. I don't know, you come over here promoting Tapa in, but I believe that if the Reggae Boys do come up with a victory, it kind of keeps him in at the helm for a little bit longer, especially that would be a huge win, at least for the next round for sure. But I want to touch on this. Is this the last thing? So in an interview today, the JFF president did hint that discussions will need to be have concerning movement going forward at the helm of the Reggae Boys. Think watch that interview on Sportsmax.
Interesting, that one. That's an interesting point to add on, to end on. I want to actually touch on what Dre has said, and it's in relation to the JFF, because we are always quick to call them out when they do bad things, when they don't act accordingly. And I'm included in that bracket as well. But today, literally, I went to pick up my accreditation pass, and I was actually quite pleased with the service at the headquarters. The people who were at front desk, I don't know them all by name, but they were just like a wonderful, they were doing an outstanding job, fantastic ambassadors for Jamaica. And it's good to go somewhere in Jamaica and get good customer service, because I'm usually left frustrated by the very little customer service and the attitude that comes with customer service in Jamaica. But they can all hold their heads up high to know that they work for the Federation and they were doing an outstanding job in terms of their mannerism, their politeness, their sharpness as well. And they also said, I saw them like boxing up some jerseys. So I was looking around and being a little bit nosy. And again, they were very approachable, and they told me that, the jerseys will be available for buying as of tomorrow. I believe you can pop down to the JFF headquarters and get the new jersey, both the away kit and the home kit. If I go back into my notes, what did they say? 14,500 for a piece for the home kit and the away kit, 6,000 for the old kit a piece. So you can go ahead and start getting your orders in, people. Finally you can done yourselves in the latest Umber kit for both the Reggae girls and the Reggae boys. So like I said, massive big up to the people who are working at the front of desk at the JFF headquarters. You ladies are doing an outstanding job, so big up yourselves.
Yeah, true. Big them up. Maybe they heard your accent and they say, "Oh, we gotta impress this one because we know the media coverage that we're gonna get from her. International."
Maybe, but they did genuinely seem like nice people. You can kind of judge someone based off first impression, right? And I didn't get any bad vibe off them. I was just like, okay, this is nice, very approachable, and I love to see that. So long may it continue. Dre, I know you're a fellow content creator like myself, and like I said, it's a bit of a shame that I won't be meeting you live in the flesh. But before we go, can you please plug yourself and let everyone know where to find you?
Yeah, Dre Any Weather Sports, YouTube. Just type it in, search it up. As soon as you hit Dre and the A, it's gonna pop up because I'm on the only one, and it's copyright too. So don't try nothing sneaky over there. But yeah, Lakers, Chelsea, Dallas Cowboys, Barcelona, the Reggae Boys, of course, and my community team, Harborview Football Club. We coming back for the JPL when it start next season. But
Okay.
yeah, very nice weekend this weekend. All my teams, including the college team that I can't really talk much about, they pulled off a surprising win over the weekend there. But otherwise from that, they're on the downside of the season right now, last couple of years right now. But they held it down for Florida over the weekend. But yeah, that's where you can find me. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend about Dre Any Weather Sports. Big up, everybody. Thanks for joining. Crystal, thanks for having me again.
Absolute pleasure. Guys, do not be put off by the fact that he's a blue. Like I said, Mr. Chelsea is genuinely one of the nicest content creators, and I'm sure off camera, in person, he's a lovely guy as well. So do support his channel. Support everyone who's in our community, this little Jamaica football bubble that we have going on. Try to like aid that unity between all of us. Don't just sit on one person's channel. Spread the love and the support, because it costs you absolutely nothing. Eddie is saying correction there, guys. I was told 14,500. Eddie has knocked 500 off that for us, guys. Eddie is saying that it's actually 14,000. So I trust Eddie on that. So there you go, guys. 14,000 a piece for the new kit. Someone actually, I need to shout out someone who has a YouTube channel that you guys can go ahead and check out. So bear with me, Dre, before we wrap up. Where is it? There you go, guys. Live with Lance and Jojo. Go ahead and check them out, guys. Again, within the Jamaica community, outside of football, but I'm sure it makes for entertaining content. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button over on their channel. Everyone in the comment section, I obviously cannot name you all, but I definitely appreciate the love and support. Like I said, I will not be doing a live stream tomorrow because I will be at the office, but you can catch me at halftime on Ryan LFC. Guys, thank you so much for blessing me with a moment of your time, giving me your precious time out to listen to myself and Dre Any Weather. Dre, it's always a pleasure speaking to you about football, whether it is international football or regular club football. It's always great catching up with you. Guys, thank you so much for blessing me with a moment of your time. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button.